I will basically welcome Sylvain from Pusher on stage.
Thank you very much. Let me figure this out quickly. Up and down, GG, okay. Great. So, I'm Sylvain Giuliani. I work at Pusher, and today I'm here to talk to you about what we learned doing marketing at Pusher. But actually, that's a lie because I've changed my slides this morning and changed the whole talk. And I'm actually really happy that Lauren is in the crowd today. She used to be our designer, and she helped achieve most of the stuff that I'm going to talk about it. And there's also Patty, who used to be a designer at Pusher too. So that's great that we have like the whole crew back together to talk about brand. So before going into that, I'm going to talk a bit about what is Pusher to give you a bit of context and what I do at Pusher. So Pusher, we are a dev tool company. We like to joke about that we help developers take over the world and make them more productive. And so what does that look like today? Today it means like providing them with an API that helps build like real-time experience inside the application. So it goes from like the traditional use case of like chat. So think about intercom, like that annoying thing popping up on your website. Well, that's thanks to Pusher. Maybe like if you're a fan of Twitch, like, group chat like that, that's again like kind of like you can build this kind of like experience with Pusher. You get the picture. The other thing that, like you might use every day is like Uber, Lyft, or this kind of like Deliveroo. If there's something that moves on the map and you want to do that in your app, well, you can use Pusher to do that. If you're a big sport fan like myself, you've probably spent the weekend on BBC Sports, Fox Sports, or whatever the sport you're into. You're going to look at like live scoring, live stats, live commenting. Again, these are kind of like the experience you can easily build with Pusher in kind of a couple of days. But that's not all. Like you can build also some kind of like a weird use case. So an amazing one that pops up, I think like a month or two ago. It's this company, and I'm just going to pitch you as they pitch us, the sales team. So imagine you're in your bed and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I need to take a shower. And you don't want to kind of like have to wake up to your bathroom and then wait for the water to be hot. Well, fear no more. You install the smart shower head and then you put that in your shower. And so you can just take your mobile phone and then take the mobile app, press on, turn the shower on, and check the temperature of your shower head. And voila, by the time you get to the bathroom, you have a hot shower. I'm not sure it's a great business model, but they pay us money and I'm gladly take that for them. So you get the picture. You can do a bunch of stuff with Pusher. And so today, Pusher, we've been around for 7 years with 55 people in a trendy Shoreditch office that we've already have grown. And then we have more than 150,000 developers on our accounts. And then we, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll hit the milestone of 10,000 sign-up per month. So again, you can see that kind of like exponential growth. So a bit more about, going the other way around. Talking a bit about me, I've been at Pusher for 5 years. I was kind of like in the founding team. Today I'm a CEO. That's a really nice title that opens lots of doors externally, but in different kind of companies, it means different things. So at Pusher, it means that the VP sales and his team report to me, the head of marketing and her team reports to me, and I'm also involved in product development. So that means that I'm basically involved from the end-to-end developer experience, and it's also give me a great wildcard that there's nobody that can really tell me to fuck off except Max, the CEO and founder. So again, like that's a great perk of my job today. But that's enough about me, Pusher. Like you get the picture. We've been around for a long time. Our customers are developers. And today I want to talk to you about one of the key learning we had on marketing, which is I used to, before this morning I had like kind of like 5 lessons, a bit like David. But I decided to focus on one big thing, which is basically the power of brand inside for a SaaS company, whether it's a developer tool like us or a traditional SaaS company. So I can hear you say like, developer, aren't these guys usually like kind of like hates marketing, hates developer, not developer, but hates brand, probably had some AdWords or things like that. And that's actually true because we did a big survey recently to 200 developers in our user base and existing larger like developer community. And they all replied to us with something like that. We asked them like, what do you think about brand? What do you think about marketing? They reply with something around those lines, which is, I don't care about brand, or I'm so good, marketing doesn't touch me. And to all those people, I say, you a bunch of liars. Because actually, to me, if you look at in practice, like developer are the best example of people that actually adore brands. And the reason for that is like you need to think about brand as a bigger thing than just kind of like just your logo. It's like, you can see them, they go around like in tribal form. They go about, I'm a PHP developer, to the point of like, I'm a PHP developer, I love it so much, I'm a Rails developer or whatever. And they kind of like really form little tribes of a technology. And so that's for me, it's like an extension of brand. And so I guarantee you, tomorrow you go to the office and you go look at your engineer team and you look at their laptop, and that's like the first place where there's an artifact of branding. Usually it's going to look something like this. And so that for me is like a great example of like loving brands. Like, because if you think about it, it's like all the stickers represent like, hey, I'm a developer, I like GitHub, and I want to endorse GitHub. I want to show the world that I'm passionate about whatever they represent, whether it's like, if you think about GitHub, they're all passionate about like open source software, or it could be about like, I have actually a slide with like actual quotes there, that looks at this, like, I use React.js as a cutting edge tool. I want to be seen as an early adopter. I want to project that image to the rest of the world. So again, like this is kind of like endorsing the brand or what the brand stands for and communicate that to the world. And obviously there's sometimes just a vanity thing. If you look back to this thing, it's like, oh, I'm really big fan of dinosaur, and I just like logos of dinosaurs, so I'm just going to stick that. So it's really much a vanity thing. So that's exhibit number 1. Exhibit number 2 is this amazing thing that Lauren Plus over there designed it for us, that amazing t-shirt. And I think that's kind of like the king of Swag City for developer too, is like the mythical t-shirt. And to me, it's an amazing endorsement of brand, because if you think about it, they're basically turning themselves into working billboards, and that's kind of like, they're like, oh, I love wearing Pusher, the brand. I believe in what Pusher stands for, and whether it's Pusher or any other brand doesn't really matter. But like to the point, like they're gonna wear it every day, and that sometimes happens. Like I'm gonna take a picture on Twitter and share it on Twitter, on other social media, and like to the point that like actually this design that Lauren did probably 18 months ago now, someone like him came to us on Twitter and said like, hey, my old Pusher t-shirt is getting very old, any chance for a new swag? So he wore it down so much that now he wants another one because he wants to keep wearing it. And I think that's again like a great example of the artifact of brand. Obviously, I always say to people internally, it's like if you think about like t-shirts, stickers, like to me it's like the equivalent of basically your dad getting an R. Davidson tattoo. Like obviously it's a bit less permanent, but like back in the days, if you wanted to show that you're a bit of a macho, like a free spirit or things like that, either you buy your R. Davidson or you get a tattoo, or you do both. Well, it's the same thing, like stickers and t-shirts for me are like the R. Davidson tattoo of developers. So obviously you can say like, well, there's more than that to brand. Obviously stickers, it's just sticker and t-shirt doesn't equal brand, which is completely true. And brand is much more to that. Brand, as Anders mentioned, is very much about like, how do people feel about your brand? Like, what are the values of your brand? Do you want to be a generous brand? Do you want to see as like a premium brand? Do you want to see as like someone fair? Like, that's something that obviously exists a lot in like the consumer good products. What do you stand for? What do you believe? I talked about GitHub, for example. GitHub is a company that we stand for open source, and so if you believe in open source, you can support GitHub, GitLab, and those kind of companies. It's also about like, obviously how it looks, like color palette, fonts, logos, you name it. But it's also about how you communicate. Like if you want to be a thought leader, you're probably going to talk to your community, to your audience, with like kind of like telling them what to do. But if you want to be part of a community, you're going to probably be talking with them as again like Anders give it a great example. So actually, I should have put you guys as an example for my next following slide. So yeah, let's go through a couple of examples. I think an amazing example of like a really fucking boring product and industry is like the mattress industry. I mean, 5 years ago, nobody ever says like, "Ooh, I just bought a great mattress. You should hear about it." Like nowadays, with brands like Casper's, like people tweet, take pictures about it, put it on Instagram or whatever. It's like, "Oh, I just bought a great mattress. Look how great it is." If you think about it, like the mattress industry has zero innovation in the probably past 50 years. It's the same pricing, there's really high competition, and yet like a new brand launched like with a nice brand, and then they're taking the market by storm. And again, that's just like to show you the power of a good brand and how you can conquer the market. Another good example, we're here in Shoreditch. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Monzo. It's an amazing brand. Like, they're competing with like Dinosaur in that sense. And so like, okay, we're going to be a new bank. Like, we're just not going to be boring bank and be trust and safety. We're going to try to be different. And so just picking that color is already kind of like being, you can really see it from afar, that card, right? And it's also about their brand, it's about community engagement. And I love it that the fact that, they involve the community from like renaming themselves. Like right now they're doing this kind of like survey about how they need to transition the international office. So they have open doors office. If you're a designer and you want to talk to them, you just basically have to go there. They have like events every week where you can talk about the design, their approach to lots of different things. So they're really inclusive and involve the community. And the amazing thing about like this sense of community, like 2 weeks ago, as a good Shoreditch resident, I was at the Shoreditch High Street overground station. I was paid with my Monzo card, and then someone else was paying with the Monzo card at the same time on Overbourne. And then he saw my card, he looked up to me and gave me like kind of like a look of like, yeah, we belong together here. And so I think that's kind of like, again, like a power of brand, like we kind of like know that we belong in the same community. Obviously, today we talk about Pusher, so I want to talk about kind of like our approach to branding and what our brand stands for, and to give you some kind of like feedback and like the lessons we learn about our brand. At Pusher, we lucked out in having a great brand, to be honest. Like I said, our mission is to help developers be better and take over the world. And we focus about like, you know, giving developer a voice, helping them be better, and like not just being like just kind of like, you know, like slave in a basement coding away and being code monkey. So that's something that they actually really enjoy and that they feel like love. The way we communicate to them is like not in a corporate way or anything like that. You know, we kind of always try to speak with the same language and with respect. And overall, that means that, you know, for them, they kind of like feel loved. They kind of like, like I said, it's a brand that they're happy to wear. And so these are kind of like the benefits that we found out at Pusher. Like, obviously, the benefit of a great brand is like awareness. Think about it. If someone is wearing t-shirts, a Pusher t-shirt all day long, that's basically a walking billboard. So that helps you like get into new communities. People are going to talk about it. It also generates goodwill if you stand for something big. Again, like if I use the example of GitHub again, like, you know, if you stand in for open source, people are like, you know, I'm behind GitHub, I'm behind GitLab. For us, it's the same thing. Pusher is like, you know, made easy, makes something that was complicated and making it easy for developers. They can stand behind and be like, okay, well, you know, that's a good idea, I can stand behind. Obviously, that creates a lot of champions and referrals, so that's something that we see a lot of time. Think about it. If I'm wearing a Pusher t-shirt and you like the amazing design that Lauren did over there, it's like, oh, where did you get that t-shirt? Well, you know, it's like, oh, I got it from that event and it's made by Pusher. What does Pusher do? They're going to generate like a conversation. And the other thing there is like, you know, marketing, we always say it's about repetition. It's like, you know, ads, message. Like, think about it, like tomorrow morning, there's probably a developer in London who's going to wake up, go to his t-shirt pile, and then at the top of his pile is going to be a Pusher t-shirt. He's going to subconsciously think like, oh, today I'm wearing my Pusher t-shirt. And so just for that, just like that, because of a good brand and he wants to wear it, he'll get like the message repeated to him again and again, every day and every week. And the last thing is something that Anders talks to it, is like, you know, today, if you look at any kind of like market space in the SaaS world, developer tools, like you're never the only player. Like you need to act yourself as a differentiator. There's like 3 ways to differentiate yourself. Like product, nowadays most products are roughly the same. Pricing, you never want to start competing on pricing because that's kind of like lead to a commodity. And so the last thing you can compete with is a good brand, right? And so for us, like we've seen that time and time again with our main competitor, PubNub. Like they have exactly the same product, exactly the same pricing. But like time and time again, people come to us and we ask them like, oh, why did you pick Pusher and not PubNub? It's like, well, we looked at PubNub, but it just kind of like feel a bit like weird and corporate, and you guys look a lot more like us. And you know, that's great to hear. I'm sure that PubNub is exactly the same story from the other side of people that wants like enterprise corporate bullshit stuff. And that's great for them. Like, you know, like as long as you can like target like the majority of market, like, you know, that's kind of like winning. And so for people that kind of like looked at the laptop or maybe their phone halfway through the talk here, it's like, you know, like the summary is like, it's all about winning the fashion show, really, if you think about it. Like, you know, I don't want people to say like, oh, brand is just like a palette, font or whatever. I want people to start thinking as brand as like a way to conquer your market, as like a marketing tool, and then as a way to basically win your market. So that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sylvain. Awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers.